Hello, everyone, and welcome to another State of the Game. And guess what? It's another. Nah, I'm not going to do that to you. No more Mustang only videos. There's a lot more content that I want to talk to you about. So, what's been going on? Well, I've been working a lot, and then today hit, which is Christmas. Spent a great day with my kids, or an evening last night, and then into the midday today, and then had them shuttled over to their other parents' house. And at this particular point, I'm just was ready to go to bed and decided, you know what? Let me take a look at the Southland hangar. Let's walk around and let's just talk about what my thoughts are for the next year of Star Citizen. Now, it was about a year ago that the Arena Commander module was supposed to come out, the dogfighting module. And at that particular point in time, we had already hit the 20 or 30 million dollars needed to make the game. So Chris made the hard call. They postponed the release of Arena Commander to give us the game that was going to be part of the game, the part that was going to stay in the game. At that particular point in time, I was a little bit disappointed, but some people were outright angry. And some people wrote scathing reports of doom for Cloud Imperium games. Well, a few months later, Arena Commander came out. It was buggy, it's slingshotty, rubber bandy, and it got fixed. And little by little, it got tweaked to the point where it worked very well. Well, last week, a big patch. Version 1.0 of Arena Commander was released. And with that, everything came into light. All of a sudden, we had almost all of the single-seater craft and a couple of two-seater craft, the Super Hornet, which you see over there in the distance, and the Cutlass Black, which I no longer have in my hangar, but I have done a review on. And now things start to come to light. Just what Star Citizen is. It's not a dogfighting game. It's not a game for traders. It's not a game for bounty hunters. It's not a game for first-person shooting. It's a game that has all of that in it. And what I mean by it comes to light is that, well, when you start to see the vision of Chris Roberts appear, materialize in front of you, you start to see what he's really building is a universe, not a game. Every detail of this hangar is etched out. And yes, I know there might be some repetitive textures, but look around. Every single piece of it was done to the fidelity that Chris demanded. Because he wants it to be as realistic as it can be as you walk around the hangar. I think that's just amazing. And now that I see version 1.0, I could only hope that 2.0 comes out as quickly as possible. 2.0 changes the game. It expands the size of the battlefield, or we can call the arena. It expands the size of the game itself. Once the 64-bit engine is implemented, we'll be able to go into our multiplayer ships, the size of a Constellation, a Carrack, a Retaliator, or even something as big as a Javelin, and start to fight not as one, not as individuals that are facing off against each other, but as a team, kind of like in an MMO where you raid, each person having a different task. And it's a lot more than that too, right? Because that's just Arena Commander, that's just the battles. As Star Citizen begins to get fleshed out over the next year, we're going to see a lot of big advancements in what we expect or what we will come to expect in a game. Not just small areas to walk around in, but a full universe with which we can interact with people. And not people that are always standing by a gate, by a signpost, by a tower, that have a scripted set of language that they can speak to us. I guess you could say that is dialogue that they could speak to you. But characters that will interact with the environment. Characters, non-player characters that is, that will live, breathe, sleep, work, clean, interact. It's something that's going to change the way that games are played. Now take a look at this asset in the game. And if you can, go back and look at some of my original videos of this ship. And look at how far it's come in a year. Look at the quality. Look at the detail level on this, a starter ship. Something that people might only have for a few days, a few weeks. But still, every detail of it was fleshed out. I'm so excited. I really don't know how to show the excitement that I have for what's going to be ahead. And I can't wait to see what CIG is working on when I visit them on the 6th of February. Yes, I'm going back there again. I have an opportunity. My business is flying me out to Huntington Beach for a sales meeting, and I have Friday and Saturday off, and I'm hoping that I can make it up to CIG to be able to have another day with Ben, and another day, this time not just to talk, but also to film some of my interactions with the people there, and hopefully while not getting in their way. So the biggest things that I'm looking forward to, I guess I just let out, and that's the multiplayer experience. And there's so much of it that I can't wait for. Because this is my hangar, I'd love to see my other, well, the people in my organization's hangar or some of my viewers' hangars. And I'm hoping that at the same time that the room system gives us a way to differentiate our hangar from other people. Adding certain rooms, decorating the rooms a certain way, possibly decorating our hangar a certain way. And I don't mean putting up like plants and painting it, but I mean by moving different elements around, like have a bigger hangar for a much bigger ship in the center, and then smaller ones in the wings. Something that would make it more your own. And then, of course, go and bring your friends and have a party inside of it. That would be great. I'm also looking forward to the multiplayer ships and to the player universe where we could congregate and we can talk amongst ourselves, maybe on the deck of a 890 jump or inside of a Phoenix, or maybe for those of you lucky enough to have an Idris, maybe you could have a party or a meeting on one of those and we could all come and see it. There's a lot of things to be excited about. And one of them also is the ability to jump into a battle and fight your friends in, well, armed combat. Let's take a look at this. This is a horrible landing. Please forgive me. I have broken this Avenger, but I was landing this Avenger to actually shoot it because it didn't operate the way I wanted it to in Arena Commander. Now, what I'm actually doing here is showing off the first elements of the first-person shooter. And the FPS is actually pretty cool. But here, let's see if I can figure out how to pull my weapon out. I think it's the mouse wheel, right? Yep, it was. There you go. And let's get out of here. It took me quite a bit to get out of my Avenger because I must have broken the landing gear or something on the way down. It's so low in the back, I just couldn't get down enough. I had to work it to get out. But when I did, I got an opportunity to fire my sidearm and get an idea of how amazing the FPS is going to be in this game. Well, who am I kidding? It's actually just firing it off and seeing the damage model from the outside of the ship. It's pretty cool, right? Look at that. That's pretty cool. Now, if a pistol could do that to a ship, we have a problem. I know that they're doing this just so we have an opportunity to play. And really, what they were saying is that, say you get shot down and you eject, you're supposed to try to shoot the pilot in the other spacecraft. I wonder if anyone's done that yet. Well, let's take a walk around this platform. I'm sure many of you have done this. I've even heard that Dr. Jeffrey and one of his friends have both landed out here and had a battle with each other. I am going to have to look at that. I wonder if they actually have the damage models implemented on your player character yet. That would be pretty cool if they did. Nope, this ship is dead, can't get back in it. We'll just walk around and then jump off and talk a little bit more. So there's a lot to look forward to. I mean, if this is what FPS, well, this isn't any real look into it. It's just a very early look into what the weapon handling is going to be like. And so far, it's very basic. But the actions are very well motion captured. Beginning to like that a lot more. Well, there's, like I said, and I'm going to say it over and over again, there's so much to look forward to in the future. So let's break down a couple more things. The game snowballed a little bit out of control, and then they stopped the stretch goals just recently. But there's a lot that has to happen in the next 18 months, and that's not even including the creation of Squadron 42, which is going to be instrumental in building the other parts of the player universe that we'll be living, breathing, and existing in. The biggest things that have to come are going to be the interaction with player and non-player characters around us. So they're going to have places where we can go. They're going to have things like bars and shops and, well, maybe even eateries or whatever you want to call it. I mean, they're going to have to make things that are just not, oh, here's a starport, here's 3 buildings you can go in and out of. I'm sure they're going to do a little bit more than that. Maybe a lot more than that. But what I'm worried about in the game is that they're going to forget that the game has to be fun too. And, you know, although Arena Commander over here, this is what I'm playing right now, I'm in my Super Hornet, is fun, it can get old really fast, especially if you're doing something like Vanduul Swarm. And you've got to make the game so it has some kind of holy trinity of things that are going to keep you coming back. Accomplishment, the building of your bank, of your credits in some kind of bank, and the ability to get loot. And that could be your spacesuits, that could be your ship's weaponry. And notoriety, I guess that's how you say it. You want people to know who you are in the actual universe. So that's a very important part of what they need to implement. When I look at Elite gives me the opportunity to jump into a game now and trade and do a bunch of things that are quite fun. But what it doesn't do for me is actually make me feel like I make a difference. Make me feel like I have a place to go. Make me feel like, hey, this is my ship. Absolutely never being able to see it from the outside makes me feel like I don't have a ship sometimes. Or that I don't have a body. With Star Citizen, I think that there has to be this balance of the fidelity of the game and how much that they're going to build into it to the reward. So I'm going to just throw this at you. Right now in Elite, I could fly a mission in about 25 minutes to an hour. And in that mission, I could visit anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 star bases. Buy things, sell things, run missions, and make it all to all places without ever leaving my ship and just interacting with a computer interface. Now, my expectation of Star Citizen is that I'm going to land, go to a shop, sell my goods, buy new goods, and then while that's happening in real time or in an accelerated time, somebody's going to come unload my ship and reload it. What that means is that in a night where I play for 2 to 3 hours, where I can do 6 to 10 runs in Elite, I might only be able to do 3 runs inside of Star Citizen. And that's conjecture at this point, right? That's not reality because there is no Star Citizen yet to compare to Elite Dangerous. But it's something that we can kind of formulate in our minds with how much detail Chris is asking to be in the game. So what I ask you now is, just what would an acceptable mission length be? And do you expect to walk off your ship and sell your goods and services inside of a shop? Or do you expect that you're going to interact with a computer and just have everything done automated? I'm not sure which one of those would be best. But if this is the game that we're building, this high fidelity, super realistic game, I would expect that we would actually be within the universe, walking around, selling our goods and buying our goods in a shop. And that's something that has me excited and worried at the same time. Well, there is a lot coming in Star Citizen this year, and as we get closer, I want you to remember the last year. There'll be successes, there'll be failures, but each one of them will be a stepping stone along the way to final release. I'm excited for the next 18 months and excited for the next year. And I can't wait to talk to you over and over again next year about the development of this game. And this is something that I'm really looking forward to, because you guys have made it very rewarding to sit here and do these videos each week. The feedback you give, the comments you give, I really appreciate it. I'll be back again next week to wish you all a very happy new year. And until then, you all be safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon.